welcome back to Read, Write, Love. And today I wanted to talk about the books that I read in January. And this is not all of them because I don't have them all. I actually read 4 on the Kindle. But let's just get started. The books I read in January, I would have to say, were just okay, except for Cinder. I loved Cinder. I started it the end of January, and I actually finished it like at 1 o'clock in the morning on February 1st. So I think that still counts as a January read. And I just have to say this book does absolutely live up to the hype about it. I was worried. I did not think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. I really loved it. Her writing is very entertaining, and I liked her characters, and just the whole story, the world is really interesting to me, and I'm very excited to continue on with the series. I will be continuing on. I didn't know when I got this if I was going to like it, so I only got the first book, but I am going to continue on. I heard that it just gets better, so I hope that's true. So that was actually the last book I read in January, so I guess I'm going backward. I'm going to work backwards. So I did love Cinder. Unexpected Everything. This is another one that has a lot of hype on it. People on BookTube are just, everybody's talking about this book. This is the book to read. Morgan Matson. I do like Morgan Matson. I've read other books of hers. Since You've Been Gone, I really enjoyed. The Unexpected Everything, I would say, was just okay. It wasn't like, oh my god, this book is so fabulous. But it wasn't like, oh, I hated this book, I never want to read it again. It was a waste of time. I didn't feel that way. It was just kind of, I liked that it was long. I like long books. I liked some of the, I think my favorite character of all was her dad and the dogs. I think I didn't really feel the characters. I didn't really connect with them. A privileged daughter of a political man, I guess, isn't really anything that I can relate to. So maybe that was part of it. I did not really care for Clark either as a love interest. I wasn't invested in their love story. I mean, the writing is good. I like her writing. I don't know. The story it didn't, like, grab me and just be like, I did read it very quick. It's definitely a quick read, even though it's so thick. I was a little sad that I didn't like it as much as I thought I was going to, because of the way everybody else was talking about it. Everybody just loves it, and I was hoping that I would just love it too. But like I said, it was just, Another book I finished. I still read Janet Ivanovich, the Stephanie Plum series. This one is Tricky 22. I've read all of them up to this one. This series is weird to me because it started out very good. It was hilariously funny, and just, I would be laughing out loud. Me and my mom would get these books and share them with each other, and we would just be laughing out loud all the time at them. And I feel like it's dragging on, and I feel like it's kind of taken the enjoyment out of it. I will probably continue reading them as long as she writes them, because I don't know, I can't stop. But, I mean, I feel like it's the same old stuff, and it's not as funny anymore. And I feel like even the characters themselves feel like, oh, okay, this happened again, and it's like, okay, again. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I just feel like it needs to be over. She's got the love triangle going on with Ranger and Morelli. And it's like, okay, how old are you now? You need to grow up, and you need to decide already, because we're all getting tired of you back and forth and back and forth. I don't know. Again, it was just kind of, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just a book that I read. Now to the books that I read on my Kindle. I'll just hold these up to represent them. Right here. Here's the books I read. First one I read on here was Fangirl. Now this is another one, Fangirl. I wanted to love it. I really did. Everybody on BookTube was talking about it all the time, how great a book it is. And again, for me, it was just okay. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. And I probably forgot most of it already, even though I just read it a couple weeks ago. Um, I didn't really care for the characters. I liked Ren. I think she was my favorite character, even though she had problems. Or the father, again, the father. I really liked his character, um, and the portrayal of him with his mental illnesses. I liked the way that was done. Um, I don't know, the fan fiction part I was a little disappointed in. I have written fan fiction in the past, myself, for Veronica Mars. Love that show. I still love that show. Anyways, so I was excited about that part of it, but I don't know. I didn't really care for the story. Maybe because I'm not a Harry Potter reader, so if I was, maybe I would have felt differently. I don't know. Um, and then once again, the love interest. I didn't get it. I didn't feel the love between them, the connection. It just didn't feel very, I don't know, it didn't give me the feels. And I was disappointed. I feel like the character of Levi, it seems, and this for Clark in The Unexpected Everything too, I feel like in young adult books, there's like no middle ground between the love interests that are either these giant, jerky, douchebaggy type guys, or these completely shy, can't even look at a girl without stumbling and blushing type boys. And it's like there's a middle ground between those two extremes. I know there is. I went to school with those guys that are in between that. And I know a lot of guys that are in between that. You can be charming and good looking and not be a jerk. And you can be, you know, shy and kind of quiet and not be just this bumbling type of, I don't want to say dork, that sounds mean, but I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. There has to be a middle ground. And I think that's my problem with Levi and Fangirl and Clark too in The Unexpected Everything. So another book, that was Fangirl. Again, like I said, it was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just a book I read. Another book that I read on my Kindle that I finished was Of Poseidon. I know a lot of people dislike that book and they aren't going to read the series or dislike the entire series. I enjoyed it. I really enjoy mermaid stories. Um, it was kind of just really fluffy. A lot of people's issues with it, with how one of the characters was married off against her will. She wasn't even at the marriage ceremony, and this is all mermaid folklore stuff. So I feel like it did kind of bother me, but at the same time, you think about it, that's the mermaid folklore. That's kind of goes hand in hand with the mythology of it. They don't really get a choice. They're the daughters of Poseidon or of the sea king. So of course they're not going to have choices in anything. Um, and then a lot of people had issue with the fact that she said she didn't love him, but she was really just playing hard to get, and then she actually did love him, and people had an issue with that. And I felt like that's, kind of stuff that some people do. I'm not even going to say just girls, that some people do. They do play games like that. So, I mean, it didn't bother me. I know it bothered a lot of people. It was okay. I liked it. I will continue on reading the other two, I think, because I do want to find out what happens. Um, but I did enjoy it. It was okay. There were two others that I started that I did not finish. The first one was The Body Finder. I can't remember who wrote that book. Um, I couldn't get into the story. I couldn't really care about the mystery. The premise was really interesting, and I thought it sounded really cool, where she gets these echoes, or they call them echoes, but these imprints of something, of a dead body, of somebody who's passed away. It's a smell or a color or just something, and she kind of connects with that, and it's left on the person who murdered them, so she can kind of see what's going on. Um, but I did not like The characters, again, I couldn't really connect with them. Her love interest, I can't remember what his name is now, but he was the type of person who all the girls were literally just throwing their panties at all the time. Every time he turned around, he had flocks of girls following after him, and it bothered me so much that I couldn't enjoy the story, and I think I stopped at about a third of the way because I just could not get past that. I know there's lots of people who are very good looking that a lot of people are attracted to, but there's not a single person alive on this earth that every single person of the opposite sex or who is into that is attracted to that person. It just doesn't exist. And in this book, her love interest, whatever his name was, I don't even remember, every female around was just literally falling all over themselves for him. Young girls, old women, and it bothered me to no end, and I could not even enjoy the story because of that, so I did not finish that one. And the last one that I did not finish was Perfect Ruin. It's the first book in the Interment series trilogy. Again, I thought it had an interesting premise. The floating island above Earth, and you can't get close to the edge. It just, I don't know. I tried reading the first, I didn't even get very far, maybe 25% through, and it didn't hold my interest. I had no investment in anything of the story, the character, anything. So I did not finish that one. If you have any thoughts of any of these books, if you have similar thoughts to mine or different, that's fine because we can all have different opinions and that's okay. Leave a comment below. I think the next video that I'm going to do, I want to talk about what I'm going to read in February. So I will see you then. Thanks for stopping by.